Demons, also known as the devils or the possessed, by Fyodor Dostoevsky, is a political and psychological novel published in 1872. It explores the rise of radical political movements in 19th century Russia and their destructive effects on individuals and society. The novel addresses themes of nihilism, revolutionary zeal, moral decay, and the collapse of traditional values. Plot summary. The story is set in a provincial Russian town where a group of revolutionaries and political agitators, led by the enigmatic figure Pyotr Verkhovensky, seek to incite chaos and rebellion. Pyotr is an ambitious, manipulative character inspired by real-life anarchist Sergei Nechayev, and he intends to create a society based on radical ideas, destruction, and total social upheaval. His father, Stepan Trofimovich Verkhovensky, is a liberal intellectual who represents the older generation of idealists, now disconnected from the real consequences of their earlier philosophies. At the center of the novel is Nikolai Stavrogin, a deeply conflicted, charismatic figure who is caught between various ideological forces. Stavrogin is depicted as a man of immense personal magnetism, but also one who is morally ambiguous and psychologically disturbed. He is a symbol of spiritual emptiness, as he neither fully commits to any ideology nor to any personal relationships. Stavrogin's internal struggle is mirrored by the external chaos of the town, which becomes a microcosm of Russia's broader social and political crisis. The novel begins with Stepan Trofimovich hosting intellectual discussions that seem harmless but foreshadow the more dangerous radicalism embodied by Pyotr. Pyotr begins to gather a group of young revolutionaries, each of whom is motivated by different grievances and ideals. They include the fanatical Shatov, who eventually turns away from nihilism to seek redemption through a more spiritual, nationalist philosophy, and Kirillov, a man obsessed with the idea of committing suicide as an act of ultimate freedom and defiance against the meaninglessness of life. As Pyotr's plans unfold, he manipulates Stavrogin and others in the town into increasingly violent and immoral acts. Pyotr believes that by causing destruction, he can destabilize the existing order and replace it with his revolutionary vision. His most significant act is orchestrating the murder of Shatov, who has renounced the revolutionary cause. Shatov's death is seen as necessary for Pyotr to maintain control over the revolutionary group and to suppress any dissent. The town eventually spirals into chaos, culminating in violent acts of terror, arson, and murder. The revolutionaries' plans, however, do not lead to the desired social transformation. Instead, they result in tragic outcomes for nearly all characters involved. Stavrogin, the central character, is ultimately unable to find meaning or redemption, and in a final act of despair, he hangs himself. Themes: nihilism and revolution. The novel critiques the growing influence of nihilism in Russian society, portraying the destructive consequences of radical ideologies. Pyotr Verkhovensky and his group represent the nihilist rejection of all traditional values, leading only to chaos. Moral and spiritual decay. Characters like Stavrogin embody the moral emptiness and spiritual crisis of individuals caught between competing philosophies without any grounding belief system. Manipulation and power. Pyotr's use of manipulation to control others reflects the dangers of political ambition and the use of ideology as a tool for personal gain. Redemption and despair. The novel questions whether redemption is possible in a world dominated by corrupt, revolutionary forces. Characters like Shatov seek spiritual salvation, while others like Kirillov and Stavrogin are trapped in existential despair. Conclusion: Demons is a powerful exploration of the consequences of unchecked radicalism and the spiritual void left in its wake. It portrays a society on the brink of collapse, where ideologies and politics have overtaken humanity, and individuals are left grappling with meaning, morality, and identity. Through its complex characters and their internal struggles, Dostoevsky examines the moral and spiritual consequences of the political upheaval sweeping Russia, making the novel a timeless meditation on revolution, chaos, and human nature.